Trump just proposed a rule that could change what's inside your 401k, and not enough people are talking about what it actually means. Is your retirement at risk, or could this protect it? I spent 25 years helping over 30,000 clients invest more than $7 billion in their retirement accounts. I read the whole thing, so you don't have to. And here's what this new rule means for you and your money. So what exactly is the proposed legal safe harbor, and how will it impact your retirement account? Simply put, the proposal is a new Department of Labor rule that protects the employer from getting sued if they choose to offer alternative assets inside a 401k. What this means is this will allow you to invest in things like real estate, gold, Bitcoin, and private equity and businesses within your 401k retirement funds. What's really interesting is when ERISA was created in 1974, it actually allows IRAs and 401ks to invest in traditional and alternative assets. Legally, there's no restriction for a 401k to invest in other things outside of stocks and bonds. The reason why many employer 401k plans do not offer alternative assets is because the employer, as the trustee of the plan, is subject to the risk of being sued by employees if the investments they offered did not perform well. So the risk of being sued is literally the only thing stopping companies from letting their employees invest in private investments or real estate. The truth is, these employers are getting squeezed by lawyers, even just for offering mutual funds, ETFs. Imagine what they're going to do with alternative assets where the fees are higher and it's even more complex. And yes, I'm saying that as a lawyer myself. Lawyers will always sue, so that's why the proposed safe harbor is there to stop litigation risk. And as long as employers hit 6 safe harbor points, they should be protected from getting sued. I'm going to share what the points are so you understand what this proposal is, why it's happening now, and why you don't need to wait for this to pass to get the benefits. The first safe harbor point is performance. The employer basically has to evaluate the investment for the expected return relative to the risks involved. 2 is fees and expenses. They have to analyze all direct and indirect costs like administration, management fees, carried interest, transaction costs, and hidden charges. The fees don't have to be the absolute lowest, but they have to be reasonable in relation to the expected rate of return. The third is liquidity. How easy can you buy, sell, redeem, and get in and out of these investments? Fourth is valuation, which is super important, something the IRS is really focused on. They have to make sure that you can value this stuff. Stocks you can easily value day to day, even crypto. Private assets like investments in a private business, harder. 5 is appropriate benchmarks. They have to determine meaningful benchmarks to measure the success of the investment. In stocks, it's pretty easy. For private investments, there are going to be benchmarks that the employer has to come up with to determine if it is a successful investment. And then the last one is the overall complexity. How complicated is the thing? Could the investor understand it? The more complex investments aren't prohibited, but employers want to be careful. As you can see, these 6 things are not that easy. It's not like checking a box. It's complex. Even if this passes, large companies are not going to want to deal with it. But here's what most people do not understand. You don't have to wait for this rule to pass. You can already diversify your investments in alternative assets now through a self-directed IRA, which I cover in depth in my video on using your IRA to invest in real estate, gold, and crypto tax-free. They're linked in the description. But this is the whole reason why the safe harbor is being proposed right now. The public is waking up to the fact that Americans' retirement plans are not diversified. By not allowing alternative assets, your 401k holds a lot of risk. Most 401ks are invested in mutual funds that track the S&P 500. And most of the S&P 500's growth is in 7, 10 stocks. So if the market turns and there's a crash, all our S&P 500 funds, all our index funds are going to tank, including your retirement. That is why I think this proposal is actually a really good thing, because it helps you diversify your retirement and protects your money. Everyone, even Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, thinks Americans should have 20 or 30% exposure to alternative assets. People aren't getting that in 401ks. They're literally tied to the stock market. That is not diversification. That's not what I'm doing, and that's not what my clients are doing. My clients and I are following what I call the new 60-40. Unlike the old 60-40 model, which focuses on 60% stocks and 40% bonds, the new 60-40 strategy focuses on 60% alternative assets and 40% stocks and fixed income. It's the strategy I built my own portfolio around, and it's what I see working for most successful clients. I'm sharing my exact 60-40 investment strategy in an upcoming video, so make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now, it's not just my clients who are investing like this. Government pensions, endowments, and union funds have been doing this for decades. For example, Harvard's endowment is 77% in private investments, with only 14% in public investments. Why? Because that's what smart investors are doing. They take advantage of tax advantages, which I'll cover in a bit, because the less your retirement is taxed, the more you keep. These smart investors know that these alternative assets are going to get potentially higher returns because they're going to get paid for their patience. And that's how you become a great investor. These funds have a long-term investment strategy. Unlike many Americans who are so focused on tomorrow, Harvard and Yale are thinking about the next 50 to 100 years. This is why this safe harbor proposal is so important. It should incentivize employers to allow your 401k to invest in assets other than index funds and mutual funds. But who knows if it's going to happen and when it will actually happen. There is a way that you can invest like Harvard and Yale right now and without waiting for Congress to pass this proposal. And smart investors like me and my clients are already doing this. You can focus on your long-term investment growth in a self-directed retirement account, which already allows you to invest in alternative assets. An IRA is a retirement account that you open and invest in outside of an employer, where you're tax exempt, just like Harvard and Yale. An IRA also has the same investment strategy. It's 20, 30, 40 years or 50 years down the road. So you just employ the same model. Anyone could open an IRA account or a Roth IRA account. But if you do it inside a bank like Fidelity, you still will not be allowed to invest in things like real estate or gold. That's because the banks want you to buy their products, like their ETFs and their funds, so they can make money and control your assets. Even if and when the safe harbor does pass, the alts that employers will allow are going to be probably publicly traded large funds, and it's not going to be truly self-directed. Most employers don't want to deal with the hassle of employee A buying real estate X and employee B buying real estate Y, dealing with all the valuations. Even if this passes, I don't think that all the alternative assets will be on the 401k menu. The average American should get access to all of these great opportunities. That's how real wealth is being made. I think the safe harbor will help Americans, but I don't think it's going to be transformative. I don't think you're going to see people buy private stock from small companies in their 401ks because their employer does not have to allow alternative assets. That's risky. And if it were safe to put all your money in the S&P 500, trust me, Harvard would do it. Why would they spend extra time and extra fees seeking extra returns? Because they know that you need to be diversified and have exposure to different assets. That's why I started IRA Financial 16 years ago, so that Americans could have access to alternative assets, diversify their portfolios, and create real tax-free growth. The smartest investors who want to protect their money from the IRS, like my clients, invest in real estate or gold, crypto, and private companies inside of a Roth IRA, because when they pull their money out, it's 100% tax-free. In an upcoming video, I'm going to tell you how I personally converted my 401k into a Roth for tax-free growth, and now I have multiple millions I can use without being taxed a single cent. And that's why I truly believe IRAs are the best place to access alternative assets. Why? Because you're in control and you have no issue from a transition standpoint. In a 401k, if you leave your job, it's not so easy if you own a private asset. You now have to retitle it into an IRA. It's more paperwork, it's more complicated. You're going to be in an IRA at some point anyways, so you might as well just do the investment in the IRA. In IRA Financial, we have an amazing team of self-directed IRA tax experts who can help you take the first step. You don't need to be a tax lawyer like me to do this. Book a free consultation with our team today, and we will put you in the right structure so you can focus on what matters, your investments. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.